Hey everyone, it is me, Angelica, back with Lifting Jelly. And this week I wanted to kind of focus in on something that's very hard for 99.9% of most of us when it comes to the whole fitness thing. It's nutrition and diet. Food is something that I love and enjoy and turn to for comfort. It's my everything. I love food. I love eating for pleasure and how things taste and trying new foods. I love food. I have an obsession with food. And that's not healthy. But it's a struggle. It's an everyday struggle, especially with somebody like me. The reason why I gained so much weight in the past was because I would indulge in food constantly. You can develop a food addiction, and I feel like sometimes I do have that issue. It's something that I struggle with, but I know that if I want to hit my goals, I have to dial in on my nutrition. Along with my journey of losing weight, exercising was one big part of it. But once I got used to the workouts, once I started doing CrossFit and saw my endurance get better, I saw my movements get better, I noticed that at a certain point, I would hit a plateau. Mind you, I was working out every day. And the only thing I changed when I first started CrossFit was I was eating the same things except instead of dinner, because I would do my CrossFit class at 7, I'd get home by like 8:15. Instead of eating solid food, I would just make a protein shake, drink it, drink some water, go to sleep. Did that help me lose the 20 pounds from 192 to 172? But then I got to a point where I was still doing the same thing. I still was eating my 2 meals and then eating a ooh, excuse me, nasty. I'm sorry. Yeah, it came to a point where I was still doing what I was doing. I had my regular routine going, but I was not dropping any more weight. So I started doing 2-a-days. I would go to the gym like once in the morning or afternoon and then go back and do it at night. I was able to get down to about 168 and again hit a plateau. So I realized at that moment that I needed to change my diet. You can exercise 3 times a day, every single day. But if your diet is crappy, you're not going to see the results you want. And specifically for me, when I gain weight, the first place I gain weight is my midsection. And that has everything to do with diet. If you're trying to get a six pack, if you're trying to get those little curves on like your waist area, that has to do with diet. You can do exercises to target those areas, but you're just building up the muscle underneath the layer of fat. And I still have fat on my body, and that's because of my nutrition. So a few things that I've done in the past that have worked for me, one that I've seen the best results from is something called the RP Strength diet. So the way that it works is that the template is based around what time you work out, how often you work out, and then your weight. So how it's set up is that you have a base, you have a cut 1, a cut 2, and cut 3. I started with the base. Everyone, for the most part, starts with the base just to see how your body adapts to the template. So it's one of those diets where you have to measure your food at first, figure out how many grams are in the thing that you're about to eat. So it took me about a week to adapt to learning how to do this. I was so confused and it seemed so hard in the beginning. But once I realized how much I needed to eat, like how to follow the template, and once I realized how to weigh out certain meats and my veggies and the carbs, I was able to do it, without having to use my scale. Second thing is that it tells you how many grams of protein to eat. It always says to get a handful of like leafy green veggies, and then it tells you how many carbs you're able to eat. And you eat carbs based on when you work out. So everybody knows that if you cut out carbs from your diet based on how your body is, but for most people, you cut out carbs for the most part, your weight's going to drop. You're going to see those results. And that's how my body reacts. I eat a lot of carbs naturally. I love my tortillas and all that. I love my bread, my pasta, my rice. So yeah, getting rid of that, I definitely saw results from it. I started with the base, and then I didn't see results. I saw my body like tightening and toning up in certain places. But after that, it kind of just, again, like plateaued. So that's when you move to cut 1 of the template. And the great thing about this template, it has the base, cut 1, cut 2, cut 3. There's 4 different options you have. So if the base isn't working for you, you move to cut 1. Cut 1, I guarantee you will see results from cut 1. When I moved to cut 1, I followed that for about 2 weeks, lost 7 pounds. On top of that, I had PR'd a couple of my lifts. So the good thing about this diet is that you'll be able to drop weight. You can also gain weight based on if that's your goal. They're able to adapt it to where you can gain weight. But anyway, so you lose weight, and on top of that, you actually gain strength. So I figured out that the RP strength works the best so far with my body type and what's good for my body. The only thing is that it got kind of hard to follow when I got so busy with school and things like that. I didn't have time to meal prep how I used to. And so that's something that I struggle with, is finding the time. Most people struggle with finding the time to meal prep. If you don't have the time, like me currently, I'm in school full time and I work almost full time, I have found a meal prep service. It's local, like she lives down the street from me actually, but the way her food is set up, it's kind of similar to the RP diet, and I can take out certain things to make it closer to that. But for the most part, she has about 3 ounces of protein, which is a part of my RP strength template, handful of greens or veggies, but she also puts a little bit of carbs. She'll put a little bit of rice or a sweet potato, or I think like this quinoa stuff. So she has that in all of her meals. There's a protein, there's veggie, and there's carb. Now, for me, I cannot eat carbs with every meal because I will not see the weight go down. So sometimes I'll kind of like pick out the carbs and save it for another day, or save it for like a post-workout or pre-workout meal. And so that's just something I have to do for the time being until I'm able to cook my own food again. So finding a meal prep service should be easy in your area. Paleo, I'll get into that. I did a paleo challenge that my gym was hosting, and let me tell you, girl, paleo is not for me. One of the things about nutrition is that you really need to figure out what works for your body and what works for your mood. Paleo, I was very irritable on this diet. I was unhappy. I felt like I was always hungry, and my body just did not adapt well to it at all. I was in it for about 3 or 4 days. Granted, I did see the scale drop about 2 pounds within those 3 days, but I feel like it was because my body was like in starvation mode. I was not used to not having any kind of carbs, and on top of that, I felt like I was just eating vegetables the whole time. Like, where's my protein coming from? Why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? I felt really deprived. It felt like a diet to me. Paleo is a very good diet for a lot of people, so I'm not downplaying it at all. I just realized that for my body and for my attitude, honey, I could not handle paleo. Another one that I have yet to try is macros, counting your macros. I heard that this is really good. You don't feel deprived. You're still able to eat a lot of the same foods as long as you keep track of like your calories and your grams and all this stuff. It's really technical, and that's why I haven't really ventured out into the whole macro world yet. But I have friends who have tried it, especially CrossFitters, and they love it. They're still able to eat and kind of indulge in foods that other diets wouldn't really allow or accept. So that's a plus to it. And then similar to the RP strength diet, you're able to tweak it based on your goals and where your body is at right now at the moment. If I could recommend anything for those who want to get started, find something that is in tune with your body. The RP diet or counting macros or diets that are more in tune with you. It works well with your body because you know how much you weigh, you know how much you work out, and you can tweak it and make it more personalized, and in the end it'll be more effective. When I was going hard on my nutrition, I wasn't going out as much, so when friends would invite me out, I'd say no. I just knew that being in a restaurant or being in a bar with bar food, automatically I'm going to eat it. So I try my best to stay away. If you have that goal in your mind, you'll be able to do it. Another thing I would suggest is drinking a lot of water. I found that drinking black coffee makes me feel full. So if you like coffee or even tea, drinking tea is really good. Drink a lot of fluids. It makes you feel fuller. Yes, you've heard that plenty of times before, but it's true and it works. I also chew gum when I get hungry. And then it kind of gives me that sugary taste that I need. I don't chew sugar-free, even though I have braces. I don't listen to my dentist, obviously. And then if I absolutely have to go out and eat out, it's always a salad, and it's going to have protein. Just be mindful of what goes into your body. Start with the nutrition plan that is fit for your body. And good luck to everybody. Definitely share with me how your own nutrition plan is going. So any tips and tricks, I am totally open to suggestions. Please help me. And if you want any advice from me or any more information on my whole meal plan or, nutrition plan that I use, feel free to hit me up, and I'll see you guys next time.